Hello, Hawks fans, and welcome to another episode of the Hawks Nest podcast. This is episode number 4 of the 2022 Pioneer League season. My name is Matt Yeazel, the voice of the Boise Hawks, and on this episode, we got a special guest once again. I'm going to have an interview with Hawks first baseman Jacob Cruce, who's become an everyday player and a very productive one in the middle of this Hawks order. But before my chat with Cruce, I want to give an update on where the team is at. The second half is now underway, as we alluded to in the last episode, where I talked with Zach Penrod, who made his season debut, so go check that out if you haven't already. But we have now cleared the first series of the second half. I record this on Monday, July 25th. It is an off day for the team after wrapping up a long 2-week homestand, and they ended up falling in their first series of the second half, Grand Junction winning the series 4-2 in an important division rivalry series, one of few in this second half for Boise. The Hawks were able to win the final game of the series on Sunday afternoon in a wild shootout, winning by a final of 18-14. And the man of the hour, Jacob Cruce, led the way for Boise. He hit 2 home runs, including a grand slam, and then his 3-run home run after that went 461 feet. The longest home run of the season at Memorial Stadium by a long shot, and the longest by a Hawk this season in general. So quite the game on Sunday. Juan Teixeira also had a 3-run homer, and Ryan Wallstad also hit a solo home run. Plenty to talk about in the game. Boise was down early on. They tied it at 6 with Cruce's grand slam. They went down again, 9-6, and then at one point the Hawks scored 11 unanswered runs and ended up taking the series finale and a big win by a final of 18-14. So now they have today off before we travel to Ogden, Utah tomorrow on Tuesday to begin another huge division matchup on Tuesday night. Ogden's a team that Boise struggled with in the first half, going 2-7 against the Raptors, who won the Pioneer League South Division, and they have clinched a playoff spot, just like they did last season when the Hawks were able to go to Utah in the playoffs and beat the Raptors in the one-game playoff in the matchup of the first and second half South Division champions. Boise will look to repeat that, of course, this season, but these games against Ogden are going to be huge. It's the only matchup between the Hawks and Raptors for the remainder of the season. This 6-game series from Tuesday to Sunday. I mentioned Zach Penrod. He's going to get things going on the mound for Boise on Tuesday night. So that is where the team stands. The record is 2-4 in this second half, and just 12 total games left against division opponents, with these 6 against Ogden, and then later on at the end of August and start of September, they'll have 6 more against Grand Junction. This is a 10-day road trip with the 6 games against Ogden, and then we'll have an off day, travel to Idaho Falls for the start of a home and home. So 3 at Melaleuca Field in Idaho Falls, and then 3 back home in Boise. So looking forward to the road trip to Ogden tomorrow. But that's your update on the team, and without further ado, here is my chat with the Hawks slugger, Jacob Cruce. All right, Jake, so kind of tell us a bit about your background in baseball leading up to coming here to Boise. You played your college ball at San Diego State. So, yeah, talk a little bit about that and what brought you here to the Hawks.
What's going on, Matt? First off, I started at Delta College in Stockton with Miles Harris. Right out of high school, I went there for 2 years. Won a state championship there, and then got picked up or recruited to go to San Diego State. Went there for 3 years. Had an amazing time there. Had an amazing time at San Joaquin Delta, and then I actually walked away from the game for about 8 months to a year. Kind of was just like working out a lot, and then I got an invite to the CWL thing, and I decided to go. Did pretty good, and then Gary watched me play, and now I'm here just grinding away and trying to get to that next level.
So you played with Miles Harris before going to San Diego State?
Oh yeah, I've been playing with Miles since I was 10.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been playing with or against Miles for about half my life already.
So how did that kind of help you coming here to the Hawks, kind of knowing somebody already?
What's funny is he recruited me last year to come here after college, and I told him, no, I'm done. And then I didn't really know, he told me the team, and then I was like, I didn't really pay attention because I knew I was done. And then when I found out that it was the same team, it was awesome. I'm not going to sit here and say that it wasn't better or worse. It was definitely better for Miles to be here. But at the end of the day, none of that was going to stop me from going from my dream or not.
So, you're a California kid from Brentwood. I know Braden Spears is also from there. Did you know Spears back in high school?
I played against Spears 1 year in high school. I didn't really know him. My little brother knows him. My little brother played against him all the time in high school. He went to Liberty. We went to Heritage. But at the end of the day, me and Spears are from a different part of the town. We're not nowhere near the same. So I think it's kind of funny. We're from the same area, but completely opposite human beings.
So, San Diego State that's on the other end of the state, correct? All the way in Southern California. So, I know it's in the same state, but was it still nice to kind of be in California, maybe family able to come to some games?
Oh yeah, I mean, I love California. I don't know if I'll ever move away from California. It's kind of hard to leave. It's kind of the best of both worlds. But once again, it didn't really matter, school-wise. My parents support everything I do still to this day, which is honestly hugely appreciated. And honestly, the only reason why I'm still here playing. But with that being said, it was nice. My grandma and grandpa got to see me more. Especially when I was playing a lot. It was nice to only be 8 hours away from the house.
So you're here now in Boise. How are you kind of liking it so far? We played a whole half of this season. You've been traveling around to different cities out west. Do you feel kind of settled in now here?
Yeah, I didn't like it when it was snowing when I first moved here. I'm not gonna lie to you. When it comes to the weather, I'm a big hot guy. And when I pulled up in April, and I'm in t-shirt, shorts, and it's snowing first day. I was honestly culture shocked at first, but it didn't take too long. Me, Miles, and a couple of the guys were hitting in the snow, so it was fun. But I like it here. It's really calm. It's really peaceful. I love it. That's really clean. But yeah, I'm settled in. I like Boise. I wouldn't move here, but I really like Boise.
So we played a whole first half. You've establish yourself as an everyday kind of middle of the order bat. Is this what you saw for yourself coming here at the start of this season?
With respect, yes. I expected myself to be in the middle order type of guy. I'm not really the happiest with my results, but I am hitting the ball extremely hard more times than not, so I can't really be upset with that. But I did expect or want to be in the middle part of the lineup playing first or in the outfield. It's what I work for. I work to be the best. I work because I love this game. But I respectfully, I believed that I was gonna be a middle order type of guy. Still working on my power consistently, but other than that, I expect more out of myself. But I expected this, respectfully.
Absolutely, and we're here in the second half now. So when you look back on the first half, what do you think went well, and what do you think you could still improve on going towards the second half?
As a team, or
you personally?
Personally, I think I played pretty good defense. I picked it well with the glove at first, but hitting wise, I think I can be more consistent with hitting more doubles. Because I thought at the beginning of the year, I was driving the ball really well to the bigger parts of the fields, and when I stay in the bigger part of the fields, I'm pretty good. It's when I start to swing, too aggressively or swing too much or get impatient or go hit the pitcher's pitch and get really swing happy is when I get myself in trouble. But what's been working is just honestly staying on the fastball, working with Gary, staying on the fastball. Biggest part for me is just staying on time. If I'm on time, I'm usually squaring balls up, and that's the goal at the end of the day is finding barrels. And when I'm finding barrels, things are going pretty good.
So, everyday middle of the order bat, obviously one of the bigger goals is to drive in runs in that spot. I don't know if you even know this if you follow the stats, but you had a stretch of 13 straight games with at least one RBI not too long ago. So I guess my question is just how much do you pride yourself on being able to be the guy driving in runs, top of the order, gets on in front of you, got some good hitters ahead of you. How much do you pride yourself on being able to come up with those big hits to produce runs?
Well, first I got to say, thank you to Jorgie and Juan, who are usually my first two or three hole hitters for always being on. It's amazing to hit behind, especially Juan. He's so simple to the ball, and he's always on base. It's honestly, at the end of the day, it's easier to hit with runners on than it's not to hit with runners. I've always been that way. I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why. I just love when there's guys on. But my biggest goal, like if we're going to get selfish, I want to be the best at hitting doubles and RBIs. Number one, if you hit a double, not only does that put you, it's awesome selfishly, but you just put yourself and your team in a position to score. And RBIs, at the end of the day, RBIs and doubles, if I hit an RBI double every at bat, I would be the happiest because not only did I score a run to help the team, but now I put myself in a position to score for the guy behind me, who's usually Gil. And I hate to say it, Gil's pretty nasty and driving runs in, man. So it's fun to get guys on for him and watch him work. So, RBIs and doubles, long ball's cool, but selfishly, doubles and RBIs are where I would want to live.
I want to talk about, you have a few home runs on the season, but you became the knockout round hitter a few times this year. Your first two didn't go the way you wanted, not able to hit one out, but then, at least for me, one of the most fun moments of the season was that game in Billings that, you guys lost a big lead, but then you crushed 4 homers in the second round of that knockout round. Just how good did that feel for you being able to break through?
What's funny is I've never hit a home run in all of my home run derby experiences. I've never been a big, go out there and just usually hit, I don't know what it is. Something about hitting home runs when I need to hit them is hard. Obviously it's hard, but in the home run derby situation, I've never hit it. So to hit 4 and to win a game like that, it was huge it just kind of gave me a little bit of confidence knowing that I can hit the ball still, out of the yard when I need it or when I want to with pretty much ease. So it was fun. It was really fun. Honestly, getting dosed with water after, it was an experience.
And how do you feel about kind of your power stroke? Cleanup hitter for this team. I believe you had one ball you hit over 100 miles an hour off the bat. Do you kind of look at that stuff, or is it more just feel in terms of how good it feels off the bat?
I'm going to be honest with you. I've not once looked at my stats this year. I don't really pay attention. I know that if I go and look at my stats and I go, I'm hitting 285, I need to go 3 for 5 my next 5 at bats to be hitting 300. When I start doing stuff like that is when I get out of whack. So I don't really pay attention. I can pretty much tell you when I hit a ball 100 miles per hour, not just on how good it feels off the bat and just from prior experiences. So honestly, at the end of the day, I'm only going for barrels. I can't control what happens after I hit the ball. So if I hit the ball hard, then the day if I hit it as hard as I can, I'm trying to put it through you. So if I'm hitting the ball hard and I'm getting on, because I hit it hard through someone, then that's all that matters to me.
I want to talk about earlier this season, one of the times I talked with Gary, he said one time when you were kind of struggling, I don't know if it was him or all the coaches kind of sat down with you and really worked with you personally on how to get through those, and then that's when you really started to get on a roll that you've really been on now. So could you maybe talk about that from your perspective, or just what have you done this year to try to work through some struggles and find consistency?
When Gary pulled me aside and I talked to him and Jerry and study, I was kind of going, haywire. I was thinking about I need to hit every pitch. I'm missing, hanging sliders, hanging changeups, curveballs, whatever I was worried about. And then I was swinging at everything for the first time, honestly, since coming back. I didn't really, swing much when I was playing in the CWL and the little experience I had from coming back from baseball. And, to strike out, 15 times in 1 week was very humbling. And for Gary to just sit me down and tell me, hey, man, just swing at fastballs. That's really all he told me was you're not going to swing at anything you're not going to swing at an off-speed pitch until 2 strikes. And just honestly, it gave me a lot of confidence. I finally started spitting on pitches and started seeing the pitch. And Next thing you know, I started hitting the ball out. I hit the ball out a couple of times, started hitting the ball harder, more consistently in the air, and now I'm just trying to keep it as simple as possible. Honestly, you know, working with Gary and Suddy and you know Jerry especially, because Jerry was here early. You know, we just kind of kept it simple, and I've never been the brightest school guy, so I've never tried to keep hitting rocket science. I try to keep it as simple as possible, and if I have to go up there thinking, oh, hey, only fastballs, then and that works, that works. And it's been working, so why change it?
Absolutely. And I believe I remember one road trip we were on where you said something along the lines of how maybe on the road it was throwing you off a little bit with the travel, and you know maybe you're getting in your head a little bit. So how were you able to adjust and start having more success both here at home and you know? These are tough road trips sometimes for us, you know, going to Billings or wherever we're going. So how were you able to kind of adjust to that?
It was mainly my diet. I was trying to eat super clean, and I was like waking up and I'd have no energy. I was 190 pounds. You know, obviously, like, you know, me going out there and swinging every pitch wasn't helping me. But the biggest thing that changed for me was I changed my diet to more of like a fat diet. And I started adding more fats to gain weight, and I'm up 15 pounds. All of a sudden I have energy again. And honestly, I changed a lot of things. I changed my sleeping patterns. I changed my diet, and I decided to, you know, sleep a little bit more and not wake up so early. So the biggest thing was sleep and diet, honestly, and then getting an understanding of what goes on the road. I've never really been on the road for more than 3 days because of college. So it was college. If I had a bad 3 days, it wasn't like I wasn't going to notice about my weight or anything. And I noticed that when I got super low body fat, I had zero energy. And when I was in the box, I didn't really like feel like I like had this energy to hit, like, not the ball out of the yard, but like to hit the ball hard anywhere. Sometimes it felt like my bat speed was super slow. And so I started to add a lot more food and kind of gain the power belly back. And now I just have a lot more confidence and have more energy, and I don't hurt as much. I'm not as sore. I can work out just as hard as I want to now that I'm eating more. So a lot of things changed, and honestly, just simplifying the game. Like, a lot changed after that first road trip. It was a reality check. You know, you go 3 for 30 with 15 punchies. Like, something's got to change. Like, I'm not afraid to, you know, talk about the bads more than I am the good. You know, at the end of the day, you have to learn, and you know, it was a big learning step. Like, even in Billings, like those first 2 road trips, I learned a lot about who I am and decided to just, you know, man up, and, you know, there's no excuses, and continue to, you know, press forward. You know, you're not going to be perfect every time you go out there, or even for weeks, or however long I struggled. But I'm not afraid to, you know, talk about my struggles, because it's gotten me here, and struggling makes you better.
Couple more quick ones. What was your favorite part of the first half for you personally, or thinking as a team as well? But yeah, what was your favorite moment of the first half?
Selfishly, my favorite part was doing the home run derby. Finally hitting a home run in the home run derby. That was amazing to feel that I can do that. But as a team, honestly, my favorite part was, you know, ending the first half kind of on a higher note. We're kind of struggling at the beginning of the season, and we're close. Like, we're very close. We're losing games by 1 run now, and I think that as a team, we're finally gelling and, you know, honestly understanding who could do who, and not going out there and doing too much. So honestly, playing right now has been my favorite part. Is like coming to the second half on the positive, and like, we're excited for the second half. I think we can do damage if we stay where we are right now mentally. So I'm excited to continue to push forward.
When you look back at the end of this season, you know, first and second half included, you know, when you look back, what will a successful season for you be? You know, if you got, I'm sure you have goals for the second half, as you mentioned earlier, things you want to work on. So when you look back, how will it be a successful season for you?
Successfully as a team, if we win it all. Like, I truly believe that we, you know, since I've gotten here early, like, we've talked about winning it all, and our record doesn't really show that that we're gonna win it all. But I think that in the second half we are. Like, we have a different vibe in our clubhouse. But honestly, if selfishly, like, a successful season would be to get to affiliated ball. I want to play baseball forever, and if I want to continue to play, I got to get to that next level. I don't see myself giving up though if I don't get to affiliated, but a big affiliated job would be huge for me because I want to continue to play, and I think I have the skills and mindset to get to that next level and play every day. So I would love to get another job.
That's going to do it for this episode of the Hawks Nest Podcast. My thanks to Jacob Cruce for sitting down and taking the time. If you want to tune in to see how Cruce does the rest of the way, you can tune into our broadcast. At home, we are on the Pioneer League Network, pblnetwork.com. We also post the link to the broadcast on both our Twitter and Facebook pages prior to every game. And for road games, when I travel with the team, as I do for every road series, we have live audio broadcasts on the Boise Hawks Facebook Live page. So make sure to tune in the rest of the way. If you want to find me on social media, I am at MJ Yeazel on Twitter and at Matt Yeazel on Instagram. That's Yeazel to get the broadcaster's perspective. But of course, follow along with the team at Boise Hawks on Twitter and TikTok, at the Boise Hawks on Instagram, as well as our Facebook page. I'd like to thank you for listening to another episode of the Hawks Nest Podcast. I'll see you next time.